Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me? I need us to confirm the audio is loud and clear. We're now about 7 minutes behind schedule. Audio loud and clear, audio good, so we can push forward. Anyone? Farmer Amy, Namdi, Emmanuel Mills. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining. Good morning, everyone, once again. Um, Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, traders as well. If it's your first time, good morning to you. You're welcome. It's great to have you join us for today's edition of the Morning Market Review, MMR, for short. Brown, thank you very much, sir, for that confirmation. All right, thank you. Again, as a quick reminder, um, on this forum every day, Monday through Friday. We get to look at what's going on in the markets in terms of the fundamental and technical setups that we have and past prices. So we get to look at the key levels, important support and resistance levels as well, so that we can watch out for trade opportunities from those levels. And then also do this with the hope that we'll be able to pick a few entries and trade ideas as well. Okay, for today, and assets that we can watch for the rest of the week as well. Okay. Um, Without further ado, let's get right to it. And usually, we always do start with the majors, all right, and then start examining our peers as well. Okay, like I said earlier, to determine the important key levels and trade setups. Okay. Um, Again, this is also with the hope that when you're listening long enough, you're also able to come up with your own profitable strategies by watching the different analysts that we bring on here on a daily basis. And then eventually you are able to pick one or two from there and combine all of this, and you're able to come up with your own profitable strategies that give you an edge over the market. It's all about the edge, okay? Um, so today, the eighth day of July, all right? Not much in terms of fundamentals. I see we got some releases for the Australian dollar earlier. Okay, uh, let's see. Uh, Tuesday, 8th July. Yeah, we got Australian dollar cash rates, that's the interest rates, statement for that rate, and then a follow-up conference as a result. Okay. So let's head straight to the trading platform. Let's head straight to the trading platform to see the technical setups that we have. All right. Just a second. Okay, so we have the US dollar index. Again, you already know. I like to start from here to understand the direction of the dollar index, and then we can relate this to the rest of the major pairs to understand the direction. Okay, so we're looking at the USD index and then go on to other major pairs. All right. So for the USD index, is one that, of course, we never fail to look at on this forum. And then again, I'm going to show us this again on the monthly time frame. All right. Now, let me also be quick to mention that, especially for those that are probably joining for the very first time, I always mention the fact that as a day trader, as scalpers, we are really not paying attention to the weekly or the monthly time frame. Okay. Of course, we may use those time frames to get some perspective. All right. Usually, we stay with either the daily time frame or the 4 hours time frame. And then for setups, okay, for structure, for setups, and then we can now tune down to a much lower time frame for entry opportunities. Personally, I like to use 30 minutes for entries. I'll do my analysis on either daily on or 4 hours time frame, depending on where I see a structure that I can trade. Okay, and then I tune down to the 30-minute time frame for entry opportunity that is more precise and that gives me a fantastic risk to reward ratio. Okay, so we really don't pay attention to the weekly or monthly time frame. However, we can of course use these time frames for to get some perspective to understand what's going on with that particular asset, like we have in this case for the USD index on the monthly time frame. Okay, now if you look at what we have here, this is from this is the monthly time frame again. And okay, let me complete that. The simple reason we do not focus on these time frames, the weekly or monthly time frames, is because they are so far out that they really don't have much relevance to us as day traders or scalpers. Okay, and I like to give this example a lot that if you're trying to spy on your neighbor, and then you could simply use a ladder, right, to spy on your neighbor. But imagine that instead of using a ladder, you now take, say, a space jet. So what that means is that because of the space jet, you are now in space. You are now so far out that you really can't even see that neighbor you're trying to spy on, right? So that's why I think that we, as day traders, as scalpers, we don't pay attention to the weekly or monthly time frame. Or of course, we can use them to get some perspectives on price. All right. With that in mind, for USD index, this is the daily time frame. And then you would agree with me that since beginning of 2025, this has been really bearish. That's the dollar index, all right, since it tested somewhere around the 110 region. Beginning of 2025, it has been aggressively bearish, okay? At this point, because of the this channel that we see on the monthly time frame, this is from 2011 as support here. A few pips away from that here as well, 2014. And then here we got a double top at the same trend line support in this case, 2021. And then fast forward to what we get currently, price is now back at the same trend line support. All right. So for me, this is quite, I believe, should be a significant turning point. But of course, we price has the final say, okay? Uh, Eventually we're going to trade exactly what we see. And overall, you would agree with me, this has been aggressively bearish. For the whole of 2025 so far, the DXY, the USD index has trended lower steadily and aggressively as well. Okay, it's been a very relentless sell-off, so to say, that has wiped out several key levels. Okay, now no trend lasts forever. All right, you need to have that in the back of your mind. No trend lasts forever. Okay. So um, from this support side now, from this support side, it's possible that we start to get some retracement for the USD index. Okay, we start to see some retracement for the USD index. All right. Now let's take this to the daily time frame. Now let's take this to the daily time frame. All right. So on the daily time frame, we see the 96 level supporting price. Okay, you see the 96 level supporting price. Now, the minute we got this high here, I was thinking, or I was of the opinion that this could be the first high or more moves higher, but unfortunately, it only did even further. Okay, created this new low at 96 price level now. I think this was it broke through that 97.7. I think we got reports that suggested that President Trump may replace Powell ahead of schedule. And then, as it stands currently, it is now beginning to rebound from this level. Remember, we got the job release last week, Thursday, all right? The employment numbers, okay, grew to 147,000 from the previous value of 144,000, all right, which was quite bullish for the dollar, all right? Now, so we have a significant support level right here. Initially, we had eyes on this 97.7 level. If you have been following this forum, we had eyes on this 97.7 level for obvious reason. I think it was sometime in 2022, we got a triple bottom at that 97.7. Let me go back to it. Yeah, right here. We got this triple bottom pattern, and then there was this aggressive rally all the way to 115 resistance right there. Okay. So fast forward to what we saw currently. Price returning to 97.7 and then eventually broke below that. That's now found support at 96 critical support level. All right. Now, this is the daily time frame. This is daily time frame. If you look at the structure we have here, it is still bearish. Okay. It is still bearish. Okay. For me, the only time this turned bullish is when price takes out this previous lower high right here. Okay. Created this lower high and then this move for a lower low. All right. So the only time this gets bullish for me would be when price takes out this level at around 98.5. All right. Now, if you look at the 4 hours time frame, look at this 4 hours time frame. You look at what's happening currently on the 4 hours time frame. We have this structure, of course, for an uptrend. Higher low, higher high right there, and then higher low. Yet again created a new high, and then higher low, the most recent higher high, and now we see price retracing, okay, to create yet another higher low, okay? That's the assumption, okay? So from this level now, I can expect price. I expect this level to act as support, and then we continue to see higher prices, okay? But in the event that price breaks below this level and even takes out the previous higher low, then it may be setting up for a much deeper, for trend continuation rather, not a pullback, for more for trend continuation. Now, this is the dollar index. Okay, and like I said, start from here to understand the direction of the dollar index, and then we can relate this to the rest of the major pairs, especially the pairs with USD as one of the currency. All right, so that's it for the USD index. If you look at the 4 hours time frame, it's beginning to set up. We have a setup for an uptrend. Okay, we've seen series of higher lows and higher highs. Currently, we're seeing a pullback for the next higher low, and then hopefully we get this confirms the higher low, and then we continue to see higher prices. All right, we continue to see higher prices. That's what I have for the USD index. Okay, now moving on to wisdom. That's about right. If you're prefer to swing, then we'll be looking at a much higher time frame. I'm sure that question is for what I said earlier about weekly and monthly time frames and how I approach those high time frames. All right. So now let's check out what we have for. Yeah, that's right. Wisdom. Thank you, sir. Um, Now we have Euro USD next door, Euro USD. Okay, my screen. Let's get back to it. Okay, Euro USD first before pound USD. Okay. Now, of course, Euro USD is essentially inverse of the dollar index, and then for me, okay, let's start from this ascending channel that we have there, and you see how prices are respected this level multiple times, especially the trend line support right here. Okay, price has respected it multiple times. Okay, of course, it hits the resistance side of that channel, hit the resistance side, and then just like we saw, this is 4 hours time frame as well for USD, and remember we saw on the 4 hours time frame for the dollar index, we also have a structure for an uptrend. And then if you look at what we have in the euro dollar as well, we have a structure for a downtrend as well. Okay, since it tested the upper part of that ascending channel, especially the trend line resistance. Okay, so here too, we have low, you see lower high. Okay, and then this kind of stops at the same level, but we got a spike there, a new low right there, lower high, and then a lower low yet again, and now we have the lower high. Okay, now if this downtrend will continue, then at this level, if we get a reversal pattern at this 1.17500 level, okay, if we get a reversal pattern here, then that would be the opportunity to short Euro USD right here. Okay, you can see this level was the last low that was broken, okay, to create this lower low. And now we see a retracement back to that to retest it as resistance. So at this level now, if we get a reversal pattern right there, then that would be my cue to go in for a sell for Euro USD. And then on this, this is the structure that we have on the 4 hours time frame. So what this means is that I'll be going back to 30 minutes time frame for entry opportunity. Okay, so on this 30 minutes time frame, as soon as I get a reversal pattern, especially price closing back below 1.17500, then would be my trigger to short Euro USD. However, we cannot neglect this bullish candle closing above 1.17500. So it's also very much possible that we continue to get higher prices above 1.17500. So what that means is that if price stays above 1.17500, especially on this 30 minutes time frame, then we will see further push to the upside, in which case we'll be going in for a buy on Euro USD. Okay. Now, don't forget, this is what we did. We started on the 4 hours time frame. What we're doing is we're looking for a structure, all right? We're looking for something to work with, all right? It can be on the 4 hours time frame or the daily time frame. What we're looking for is something to work with, and that would be the direction or the structure that we have on the chart. Okay, and then looking at Euro USD, we see this downtrend, price giving us series of lower highs and lower lows. Here we got the last lower low. You see a retracement to create a lower high, all right? And then at this level now, we'll be looking out for a reversal pattern for this trend to continue, okay? For this trend to continue. Now, currently, we cannot also ignore the fact that price is now above that previous low, okay? Price is now above that previous low. So it's going to take a close back below that 1.17500 support level to confirm the short, okay? To confirm the short for Euro USD, all right? Currently, this last 30 minutes candle finished bullish, and then if we see a follow-through candle, the next candle, we see a follow-through candle right here, then we'll be setting up for higher prices right there. Okay, that's for Euro USD, right? Now moving on to pound USD. Now moving on to pound USD. And for pound USD, I think let me see. I'm going to confirm the number of times I've traded this in a minute. I saw some pretty fantastic opportunities for pound USD. Just a second. Trying to load. Okay, oh, my screen. Can't see my screen. Okay. Yeah, so I was going to show us for pound USD right here. I think it was when it broke through that support level, took one entry, was a win. Took yet another one, was a win. For this last one, got swept out. And then also looking for more opportunities to short pound USD. And the reason here, this is one that we've also talked about a number of times. Now for two reasons, okay? Now for two reasons. Number one, we see this identical rising wedge right here, okay? If you look back at what happened here, if you see this, looking at these two trend lines that we have here, all right? It's called a rising wedge. And then eventually, at this time, price broke below the support side and then gave rise to this close to 1,000 pips, if you measure it. Backward to this period, we see a similar pattern. Price broke below that yet again, but we didn't see a follow through right there. Okay, instead, price pushed even higher. All right, and then tested resistance at 1.375. Okay, and then let me go to a lower time frame now. Okay, so price breaking below 1.363 right here. Now, if you look at what we got previously at 1.363 resistance level, acted as resistance multiple times. Eventually, price closed above it, and then we get it closed back below that important level. Okay. Now, this sets up for at that time sets up for what is called a fake out. Okay, what is called a fake out. All right. Fake outs. I've also mentioned this a number of times. This occurs when price breaks a key level only to reclaim it very quickly, especially when it's happening on a high time frame. All right, especially when it's happening on a high time frame. So in this case, for the pound USD, looking at 1.363 level, acted as resistance multiple times and eventually closed above it and then closed back below it. And then I was thinking at the time this was set up for a fake out, and then fake outs like this usually triggers an extensive move in the opposite direction. But so far, price is now back above that level. Now, that's the first reason right there why I think this would get bullish, bearish in the coming days. Now, the other reason is this. If you also look at this trend line that I have here, I'm going to make it a little bit big so that it's more obvious. Okay. This trend line right here dates back to, I think, 2023 right there, acted as resistance, and then fast forward to here. So what this means is that this here was the 2023 high. This here was the 2023 high, sometime in July of 2023. That was the highest level. And then fast forward to here, we also got the highest level for 2024 right here. Okay, that's for pounds USD. Just we're expecting the same trend line. All right. Now the current level, right? This current level now. You see how price pushed above that trend line resistance. Okay, pushed above it, and then currently price is now trading around that trend line. Okay, and then from what I've said, you could see how significant that trend line is for pounds USD. Dates back to like I just showed us, to 2023. I'm going to run through it again. Here, July of 2023, we got the 2023 high, this trend line. Sometime in September of 2024, we got the 2024 high, and then currently 2025 so far, all right, price took out that trend line, got closed above it aggressively, tested resistance at 1.375, and currently price is now trading around that trend line. So what this means is that around that trend line, I'm looking for a bearish setup. I'll be looking out for more bearish setups to short pound USD. I've traded this like I showed us three times, 2 wins, and then one took me out at stop loss, and then I'm still looking out for this, and it's the one that I'm watching really closely for more bearish setups so that I can continue to sell. Okay, because the price is really high right now. I'm not looking to buy. I'm not looking to buy. It has more room to the downside than the upside. However, doesn't mean that we will not take advantage of pullbacks or push higher. Of course, we continue to do that, especially if we get a close above that same trend line. This is the 4 hours time frame now, especially if we get a close above that trend line. And then currently, you can also see how price is below the 50-period moving average, all right, which also signifies weakness. So what this means is that for pound USD, I'll be looking out for bearish setups to short, and then as long as price is below that same trend line that I just highlighted to us. Okay, so that's for pounds USD. And I really do hope we got that. Right. Okay, let's see what it looks like on 30 minutes. Let's see what it looks like on 30 minutes before we move on to the next asset. Okay, so on 30 minutes, we see how price has now taken out the trend line. This is the same trend line. Dates back to July of 2023. Okay, now this previous 30 minutes candle closed above that trend line, and now we're getting a follow through candle right there. We tested that trend line, and then it's pushing higher. Okay, it's pushing higher. All right, this may be presenting some short-term opportunity for a buy. okay, presenting some short-term opportunity for a buy until we see a close back below that same trend line, all right, for pounds USD. Right, now moving on to USD CHF. USD CHF. Okay, so for USD CHF, again, I have this descending channel. I have this descending channel right here. And then this is the daily time frame. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so again here, you see how price respected this channel, resistance right there, support, resistance, support yet again, a few pips away, support right here, resistance, and then price here closed below the trend line support here, and then closed back above that level. Again, this is typical of a fake out, all right? This is typical of a fake out. Price closed below a key level only to reclaim it very quickly, just like we saw for pounds USD, all right? So now again, price is now above that trend line right here. This is the daily time frame. It's the daily time frame. So let's see what it looks like on 30 minutes for USD CHF. Okay, so we see this high right here. Okay, price is now trading at this current level, which is also a support level, right, for USD CHF. So here, now, of course, it's obvious why this is also a key level for USD CHF, all right? Here, found support here, pushed a little bit higher. Now it returns to that same level. If you look back here at support again, if you look back here, we got some confluence of resistance right there, all the way to here as support as well. Okay, so that's how I can confirm that this level is significant for USD CHF. Now this is 30 minutes time frame. So what this means is that on this 30 minutes time frame, if we get a bullish pattern at this key support level, that would be the trigger to long USD CHF. Okay, now what would invalidate that is if we get a close below that support. Okay, we get a close below that support level, then we see more push to the downside. Okay, for USD CHF. All right, so it's one to watch. It's one to watch. So at this current level, it's set up for we see some bullish buyers stepping in to create some bullish pattern for us here on the 30-minute time frame. Then that will be the trigger to long USD CHF. Right. Next up, we have USD JPY. Okay, we have USD JPY. Right. So for USD JPY, I remember I highlighted this level to us, one of the sessions here. Here we see some consolidation right here. Okay. Price pushing between this resistance at 145.4 and 142 price level. Okay. Now currently price is above resistance. Okay. It's taking out that resistance quite convincing. So this automatically flips to support. 145.4 automatically flips to support. Again, there's been a struggle at 146.5. All right, there's been a struggle at 146.5. This is the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, price has now broken out of this consolidation phase, broke higher, okay, which is in itself a bullish confirmation, right? Breaking above the resistance side. Okay, so for USD JPY, Currently, it hits resistance at 146.5. So I'll be looking out for some retracement, okay? Some retracement here in order to long USD JPY, all right? This is 4 hours time frame. Let's see what it looks like on 30 minutes. Like I said, I use the 30 minutes for my entries, okay? I use the 30 minutes for my entries. All right, so for USD JPY right now, okay, I'll be waiting for what happens when price hits this support, okay, on the 30 minutes time frame. I'll be waiting for what happens when price hits the support level. Now, remember for USD JPY, we started on the daily time frame. Initially, we have this consolidation phase, and then price eventually broke above the resistance, all right, of that consolidation, all right, which, like I said in itself, is bullish, okay? So with that in mind, we then switch to 30 minutes for entry opportunity, right? Now, because it's bullish, what it means is that we're uh, looking to take buy trades, all right? We're looking to take buy trades. But this is pushing to the downside. You cannot ignore that. So I'm looking out for what happens at this support level on this 30 minutes time frame, okay? On this 30 minutes time frame. And then when price hits 145.8, and then I see some bullish pattern right there, then that would be my trigger to long USD JPY, right? That would be my trigger to long USD JPY from 145.8. And again, if you look at the 50-period moving average, price is currently above that, which also signifies some strength. Okay, just signifies some strength. Now, I would also like to touch on pounds AUD as well. It's one that I'm also watching, especially because of this consolidation that we have. Okay, especially because of this consolidation that we see here. Now, the longer a consolidation phase lasts, the more aggressive the resulting breakout will be. All right, I've seen this time and time again. A very obvious example, we have it on USD CAD, right? We have it on USD CAD, right? When we got this 2-year consolidation from 2022 October to sometime in 2024 October, when we eventually got a break up both the resistance side, and then that gave rise to that very aggressive move. All right. So in the same vein, I'm watching this price see as consistently stay between 2.1 and 2.05 right there. All right. And then eventually, depending on where this breaks out, all right, we determine what we get for pounds AUD. But so far, you can sell at resistance right here and then buy at support for as long as price stays inside of this range. Okay. For pounds AUD, it's one that I'm watching very closely as well, like I mentioned. Okay. The last one from me to you. Remember, we talked about silver. The last session, we talked about silver. For silver, it became interesting because of this head and shoulder pattern at the time, all right? It became interesting because of this head and shoulder pattern. And then we're looking forward to price breaking below the next line to get in for a sell. Okay, I still have this trend line here that I used to illustrate it to us, that price breaking below that neckline to signify weakness. But unfortunately, let's see. Okay, this is the high of the two shoulders. Right, that's the high. Okay, so currently price is back at that shoulder, okay, at the two shoulders, right? We saw this spike, but it's now back below it, okay? So this is a huge resistance, okay? This here is a huge resistance for silver. Okay, so what this means is that if we get at resistance now, if we get a bearish confirmation at this resistance, then that would be the trigger to short this metal. Okay, that would be the trigger to short this metal, right, at that resistance. Okay, so that's about the asset that I have for us for today. Um, so if you have questions based on the assets we've been able to analyze so far, uh, this is your time to make them known so that we can look at them. All right. If you have questions based on the assets we've been able to analyze so far, drop them in the chat box for me, and then I'll get to respond. Right. So far, we've been able to touch on the dollar index, the euro USD, the pound USD, USD CHF as well, USD JPY, USD CAD, because of the consolidation phase that I needed to highlight to us. And then pounds AUD as well, and now on silver. Okay, and now silver. Okay, Brown, that was loud and clear. R&B says gold. John says gold as well. Okay, so I'm guessing no questions on the previous assets that we touched on so far, right? That's what I believe that means. Okay. Um, so remember for gold, we got this head and shoulder pattern. I think it was sometime uh, during the last session. Okay, we saw this head and shoulder pattern, and then we drew the neckline at the time, this neckline right here, and then price broke below that neckline, and then fell aggressively, found support right here. Okay, so we have this trend line yet again. Okay, and you see how that trend line supported price multiple times. Okay, since end of 2024. Okay, since end of 2024. All right, a support, yeah, support again, a few pips away, support as well, here again, a support, here again, a support. Okay, so currently, it tested that same trend line again as support. All right, and then you see that uh, weak, we see that long lower weak, which signifies rejection. All right, a lower price was quickly rejected, and then uh, it gave rise to this spike that we now see on the daily time frame. Okay, so for gold, what this simply means is that for these to continue to get bearish, I said that because since it tested this high, buyers have not been able to take out that high, right? So since the high, saw this push to the downside, okay, and then this lower high, okay, this lower high. So ideally, we expect a lower low, okay, we expect a lower low. But for that to happen, price has to take out this trend line support, which comes in around price level plus 315. Price has to take out that support level in order for this to continue to push lower. Okay. However, currently prices are above that 33.15, and then we continue to see bullish pattern above 33.15, that would be bullish for gold. Okay, that would be bullish for gold. All right. So that's what I have for gold. Uh, John Obani, I hope you got that, sir. And then I will be Emmanuel as well. I hope you got that, sir. All right. So for the next 2 minutes that we still have, again, You're welcome. So I will touch on Euro USD, Pound USD. If you have questions for those things, please make them known. We have less than 2 minutes to go. Okay, we have less than 2 minutes to go. It's been a great time talking to us for the past hour, though we started about 5, 7 minutes behind schedule. Remember, we normally wait about 5 minutes for people to get on the connection, technical issues, all right, so that we all can be on the same page. And then uh, it's been a great session. Adeyemi Olalekan says US 2000. That's an entirely new one. Now, of course, the US indices are bullish. So what that means is that continue to look for opportunities to buy. If you look at US 30, US 100, even US 2000 as well, okay, would be uh, aggressive bullish, all right? So we continue to look for opportunities to buy on those indices, okay, buy on pullbacks, all right? So thank you once again for taking the time out to join us today, yet again. Tomorrow will be another day. Thank you very much. Looking forward to us joining again tomorrow. Have a great trading day and wish us a great week ahead as well. Thank you very much.